Okay. I like muscle energy techniques for the head and the neck because I do think it really helps open up like range of motion in the neck in a very gentle way. How your traps feel before I start digging in there? So we've got a couple options. I usually prefer just a pin and stretch. We find those trigger points in the upper trap and we move them into lateral flexion. Relax your head. There you go. Let me do the work. So we just work those trigger points. Another way we can do this is a grab. Because the upper fibers of this trap are so easy to kind of get a hold of, I can get a good grab. I'm not gonna try to dig my thumb in like this. I'm more just gonna kind of do a little pincer and then move that ear towards the opposite shoulder, or the same shoulder, that shoulder. Now, as I get them a little more opened up, we can go into a muscle energy technique. The one thing I don't want to do is shove their ear to this shoulder, okay? I want to make sure I'm tractioning and pulling this way as I move this way because I want to create some space between the joints. I don't want to jam into their neck. So that's the biggest thing I see when people stretch the neck, they just shove the head over, and that's really painful. It's painful for me. I don't know if it's painful for y'all, but that's really painful to me. Since we're doing upper trap, we want to take into account the shoulder, right? Because the trap elevates the scapula and it can laterally flex the head. So I'm going to make sure that I pull a little bit before I move her head over to their side. Now, I can cross, which some people like to do. I don't have to cross. It's your preference. Her action is going to be both that elevation and that lateral flexion. So I tell clients, I want you to pull your shoulder and your ear closer together. You're going to give me about a 30% contraction. So it's not a fight. I'm not trying to wrestle you. It's just a little bit of a muscle contraction. I'll go ahead and do the cross. Go ahead. We want about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, relax. When she lets go, I'm gonna push just a little bit deeper. I push more on the shoulder than I do the head. It's just personal preference because again, I'm not trying to crank her neck. I'm gonna wait about 15 seconds and then we'll do it again. Ready, set, go. That was not 15 seconds, but you get the idea. 5 to 7 seconds here. 3, 2, 1, relax. And you can see there's a little bit of tension in that border of the upper trap. I can see it starting to be kind of outlined as I stretch it more. And then we'll go one more. Ready, set, go. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, and relax. That final one, just another, she's just relaxed. That's just passive stretch for about 15 seconds. And then we would work the other side. Whoa. So I usually do the manual, the pin and stretch, and then the MET all on one side, and then I go to the other side, do the same thing. I like to kind of do it all together and really open up the trap on either side before we go any deeper, right? We gotta think about deep tissue techniques. We wanna work that superficial layer before we start going for the deeper stuff. So y'all wanna try that? Pin and stretch, super easy. You probably already do a variation of it. And then the MET is what I really want you to practice. Get used to pushing on people's head